Welcome to Career Pathways. My name is Don Bowers and I'll be your instructor for this short video. One of the things I've been doing lately with my websites is I wanted to go over to a CMS platform. The CMS platform that I chose is called Joomla. Joomla is a very feature-rich development platform for websites. It allows me to have dynamic websites instead of static websites, something I've been wanting for a long time. So I began to make the move to Joomla. I've actually been using Joomla for about a week, so I'm really new at this. And one of the things I needed Joomla to do, and I wanted to make sure I could do it before I developed, invested a lot of time anyway in developing my websites, is I need to make sure that I can bring video galleries into my website and have them deploy in Joomla. I looked at the directory extensions for Joomla. I know there's a bunch of stuff out there. I didn't find anything that I really liked. One of the programs that I've been using for quite a while now is called VideoLightBox, and it's from VideoLightBox.com. It's allowed me to actually integrate videos fairly easily into my website, although I did need to do a little bit more programming than I found I needed to do in Joomla. So in Joomla, this is actually very simple to do. Now, one of the problems I faced was when I went on the internet, I only found one article really that talked about how to do this. And so I actually looked at the article and I found the source of the article was from a place called newhopemedia.com. They're based in Australia. So I went ahead and just emailed him and said, hey, can you guys tell me a little bit more about how you got this to work? And the guy just responded back so quickly. So kudos to New Hope Media.com for responding back to me so quickly. So I was able to get my videos up and running, and I thought, this being my first actual YouTube video, I thought I would share it with the rest of the world, because if you're like me and you're new to Joomla and you want some things to happen pretty quickly, you don't have a lot of time, and time is money, and trial and error kind of hurts. So I want to show you guys how to integrate the Video Lightbox program videos into Joomla, and it's actually pretty easy. First thing is I needed to upgrade my Video Lightbox to version 3. Again, I was using version 2.1, I think, and it put all the videos into one folder along with an HTML code and some other files, and that really doesn't work well with Joomla. So as I upgraded to version 3, and it really wasn't an upgrade, I had to just rebuy the software, folks, because there was no upgrade path since it had been more than a year. It's actually been a couple of years. So I went ahead and purchased a new product, and guess what? They actually have that working. So when you produce a video, it's going to put the video in a subfolder, and then underneath that there'll be a folder for your videos, a folder for your HTMLs, for your thumbnails, and then your HTML is right there in the root of that folder. And I'll show you that here in a few minutes. So there's a couple step process that we need to do. The first thing I'll need to do is after upgrading or updating my Video Lightbox to version 3, I want to get the videos from the source folder. Now I have a development platform that's connected to the same network as my website, so I'm just going to use shared drives and map drives to get that data. So it'll happen pretty quickly. Need to select some video options in Video Lightbox. You'll find these are very easy and kind of a lot of fun. Save the data to the local drive and then copy them over to my Joomla website. That's all I need to do with the video files. Then I want to modify the template header in Joomla, and the biggest problem there was I wasn't sure where to find that. Now I know those of you that have been using Joomla for a long time, you're going to go, it's in the templates folder. Well, it may be there, but you've got to go through Joomla to actually access it. So I'll show you how I did that and where I put this code snippet that I get from Video Lightbox. And there's a second code snippet that I actually need to put in the article. I'll show you how I did that as well. And then of course we'll be free to watch the videos. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with Joomla and Video Lightbox. Now, as you can see, I'm on my web development machine. This is actually a virtual machine running on the same network my actual website is running on as well. So it's going to make getting the files very easy to go in and out of Joomla and to be able to get them from my source. I do this because then I find if I need to move this machine maybe for home for summer or whatever I want to do, maybe I'm going on vacation, want to do some major web development, and I don't want to drill all the way into this machine. I can take it with me, so it's portable. Being on a virtual machine is portable. I also don't have to install software. I can also back it up very easy. So this is actually where I do all of my web development from. So you can see all my tools right here. These are them. Okay. So I'm going to show you VideoLightBox and show you how that works. So the first thing I'm going to do is open VideoLightBox. And I'm going to go ahead and get my source videos. Now, what's cool about this software, one of the many things anyway, is that you can get your videos from just about any source. You can get them from YouTube, on the internet. You can get them from all these sources and probably more. Facebook, you can get videos from anywhere. And the videos will just show up once you put in the URL. The videos will just show up in here. And you can have one gallery, for example, that has maybe 15 or 20 videos, all from different sources. So it's kind of cool that way. I'm going to go ahead and get mine from another website that I have up and running called securesavvy.com. So I'm going to go to videos. And since this is on a network share that I have an administrator share into, I'm going to go ahead and get the videos from a particular folder. And then I'm going to drill down onto a server called web. And I'm going to open up inetpub and go all the way down to securesavvy. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of securesavvy.com, and I'm going to check and find a file called Server 2012 Videos. Those are the ones I want. Now, there's a bunch of other things inside this folder. All this is going to do is extract the videos, so it's going to be a clean extraction. So I'm going to move these now over to my VideoLightBox. Now, this has a representation, and again, these videos could all be from different sources, the same source, or any combination of web versus local videos. It doesn't really matter. But the fact is, I want to put all of these into my VideoLightBox project. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take a look and see how I want my thumbnails to be. Now, there's a lot of different variety of ways I can do thumbnails. I kind of like some of the newer ones down here at the bottom. They're just kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. I think it's pretty cool. And with the thumbnails, I'm also going to have it insert the play button on the thumbnails. And I'm going to probably choose, because I know how these thumbnails are going to look, how the videos look. I'm going to choose this one, and you can come back and choose other ones at your leisure. I'm not going to turn on the thumbnail titles, and the reason I'm not going to do that is in Joomla it might make the titles and the videos not line up properly. So I know that as I move my mouse over this play button, the video titles will show up. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And by the way, that's default, is to not show those. So I'm good with that. Okay. Next thing I need to do is, how do I want my videos to actually look? In other words, in the player, how do I want the videos to look? And you can see there's a bunch of options. I'm not trying to sell you guys on VideoLightBox, but this is a pretty cool program, and it will do a lot of cool things. I'm going to choose this one just because I like it. I'm going to leave the video resolution at its default. I can change that if I choose to. You know, maybe I'll even go one more size up to here. I can even go all the way to here. However, if you bring these up, when they come up on your screen, you can just double click in the middle of the video and they will go full screen. You should get pretty good quality. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use MP4 Quick Start. The reason I'm going to do that is because they'll automatically begin a stream. So that's really all I need to do as far as setting these up. I'm going to go ahead and go to Publish, and now here's kind of where it gets fun. I want to publish these into a folder on my desktop that I've already created called Server 2012 Labs. So I'm going to browse to that, browse to my desktop, and I'll go down to Server 2012 Labs right here. And I'm not going to open the folder because I'm publishing to the folder. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to select that folder. And then, this is really important, when this names the folder underneath this folder that it's going to actually publish to, I don't want to it called index, anything to do with the word index.html. The reason is, if I leave it this way, then I can really only publish one gallery. Well, I could publish more, but then I'd have to make sure I change this. So I'm going to change this right now. I'm going to call this Server, and no space, 2012 Labs. Now I'll explain why here in just a second. I'll show you why I did that, because this has to do with the folder name that it gets published into. Okay, And I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to publish. And here it goes. Now, I've got, this is probably a good 15 hours of videos. There's 15 of these. Some of them are an hour. Some of them are 90 minutes. You know, some of them are half an hour. Overall, probably about 15 hours worth of videos I'm being published here. So this is the real deal. I'm not just publishing small stuff to show you how it works and you get it home and it not work the way you thought it would. I'm publishing the real deal. This is a lot of video right here. So, and yes, it's still working on a virtual machine. So I'll simply wait for these to come in, and then I'll show you the folder layout that it uses. And as I mentioned before, the earlier versions of VideoLightBox, as in at least version 2.1, didn't do it this way. And this was part of the problem I was having with Joomla. Okay, now it brings these up. This is what it's going to look like on the page. And you can see as I move my mouse over each of these videos, it will actually show me what the videos are being named. And I've actually was smart enough to number my videos, Lab 04, Lab 05, so I know the order these will come out in. They won't be any random order. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm not even going to save my project because, quite frankly, there just isn't that many things you need to mess around with in there. I don't need any new preset defaults or anything weird like that. Here's the folder it published them in, and you can see now it renamed this Server 2012 Lab. It also put that name here before it did the underscore video library. So I can now take this folder and put it directly in the root of my Joomla website. And in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy this folder because this is all my videos, and these are the ones of how I want them published. And by the way, real quickly, you can see in here, I have my thumbnails, my videos, I have some other buttons and jQueries and stuff. This is all going to get published to Joomla, and Joomla will be able to use that. So I'm going to copy this again, and I'm going to go ahead and put this over. And I know that my Joomla site is on a server called Web02, in fact, inetpub, www-root. And I've already put one in here because I've messed with this before, so let me delete this one. And I'll go ahead and drop this one in here as well. And here it goes. So you can put this up to your Joomla site via FTP or whatever mechanism works for you. Part of the reason I do my video stuff here is so that I can do this. I see that I've got 2 of these, and so I'm going to probably delete both of them because I don't want both of them there. Let me copy this back in. You know, things don't always go the best way the first time you do a video, right? Or the second or third time. Okay, I can't do this one, so I believe this is the one I just did. Let me take a look at the, it's 10.6 and it's about 9.08, and that's about right. So this is the newest one. Okay, and again, we can open these. It's not the newest one. Let me see if I can take that out of there. There we go. It went that time. Let me paste this up and back in. Make sure I don't get it in there twice. That was the problem I was going to have, and I don't want to confuse this program. And there it is right there. And here's all the files. Okay, so that's in there now. Sorry for the little bump in the road, but that stuff kind of happens sometimes when you're doing live productions. And by the way, this is going on a live website, so you'll be able to see this happen in a live manner. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to open this up. This is my what used to be called index.htm, and remember I renamed it. I'm going to open this up in WordPad. So I'm going to go ahead and open with Notepad, and here we are. Now I have the text wrap turned on, it's turned off so it won't text wrap because there's a lot of code over here. You can take a look and see there's a lot of code. Well, not in that section, but I guarantee in this section there is a lot of code. Okay, so I don't want to have to deal with all that code. So now I want to take you over to Joomla. So now we have this prepared. We have the files copied to the Joomla site. How do we modify the Joomla site to be able to take the software or take these videos? Let me go ahead and go into Joomla. And the first thing I want to do is go into my administrator site, which is right here. And I want to modify my default Joomla template that I'm using. And I'm using Protostar. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my extensions. And I'm going to go to my template manager. And as Template Manager comes up, I'm going to make sure I select on templates, not styles. So Template Manager's there. I'm going to choose templates, and I'm going to go down to the Protostar, which is the one I'm using. And I'm going to open up where it says Protostar Details and Files. And as I go in there, I'm going to simply come over and choose the index.php right here. And it's going to open that up, and I'm going to go down to, oh, I don't know, about line 120. And as I begin to approach line 100, as I go down a little bit, you can see that this is where my heading ends, my header ends. And I've already created a space right here at about line 120 where I want to insert this code. So I'm going to go back to my code here that I got from VideoLightBox, and you see where it says Start VideoLightBox in my heading section or my header section. I am going to go ahead and just simply copy this code right here. That's all I need. Now this needs to go into the header of every website. It doesn't have to go on every page. By putting this where I'm putting it, it actually is defaulting in every page, but it's not going to do anything to any of your other software if you're not running VideoLightBox. So I'm going to copy this. This only has to be done one time, only one time per site, and about line 120 I'm going to do a Control V, and there's my code. See where it says Start VideoLightBox, and down here it's going to say End VideoLightBox. No problem there. I can take away some of the spaces if I want to, if I want really neat code or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and do save and close. Now again, this only has to be done one time per site or per template. So I can, if I choose to use another template later on, I can do that. I simply need to put this code in the PHP index.php file of the template that I'm using. And again, if I have a bunch of pages, which I do, that are not going to support VideoLightBox, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt them at all. At least that's been my experience so far. So now I want to go ahead and go back to my control panel in Joomla, and I want to go ahead and go into Content Articles. I'm going to go to my Article Manager. Now I've already created the article, and it's just a blank article. It's called My Gallery. And I've already associated the article with a menu, and here it is right here. Now, right now we are in text insertion mode, which means I can just start typing, this is my favorite website or whatever I want to do. I want to put this in code view, okay? So to do that, I'm going to go down to the bottom. And by the way, there's some feedback on the internet, and I'm going to toggle this too, so I can view HTML code. There's some feedback on the internet that says if you do this, you need to make sure that you leave the last two lines blank because it'll snip the code. I haven't had that problem in Joomla 3x, and I haven't used previous versions of Joomla, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll show you what I would do to correct that even if it were. I'm going to open back up that source code. I'm going to go down here to head. Now I don't need everything in the, I'm sorry, I'm going to go down here to the body. So after header comes the body. I don't need everything in this body. All I need is, you see where it says Start VideoLightBox and in VideoLightBox. That's all I need. I don't need any of the rest of the stuff. And in fact, on the Joomla page, you can see this. It doesn't really have a body. Well, it's here. It's part of the code that comes with Joomla. So I don't need the header tag, I'm sorry, the body tag or the in body tag. I just need this right here. So I'm going to copy this code, and I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to do a Control V, and watch what happens. This is amazing. Once it figures out what you've got, and it will, and I go back and toggle the editor again, look what happens. There's my videos. Now folks, if you try all this and this doesn't come up like this, then there's a problem somewhere, but I know that mine will. And you can see I'm running 3 across. It will depend on the size of the web page I'm using as to how many will actually do, but I can see all of my videos here. As I move my mouse over, it will actually come up with the actual title of the videos, and that's kind of how I want my galleries to look. I'm going to go ahead and close, and we'll close it. And I'm going to go back into Joomla, and I'm going to do a refresh. I'm just going to press the F5 key. So now my Joomla site is refreshing. I'm going to go over and choose my gallery button, and And again, this is live, folks. There's my Joomla videos right there. If I click on one of them, they will auto stream for me automatically, just like that. Now, again, I'm doing this on a virtual, so they may take a minute. And they're gonna be choppy, excuse me, because they were in a virtual and remoting into it. So let me go to my live system, my home system, and let me show you kind of what this looks like in real life. I'm going to get out of this virtual just by minimizing it, and I'll real quickly go to my Joomla site, and here it comes up right here, and there's my gallery button. And again, I did this on a live site, and we'll just choose one of them. There it goes right there. So you can see how easy that worked. So that's going to go ahead and conclude this particular lesson on how to integrate videos into Joomla using VideoLightBox.